Hey everybody, it's Mike Dimon and welcome to episode 21 of Quote the Ravens Season 4. Well, Season 3 was a washout. First, if you remember, we had the fires from Canada, which grayed the skies. We had record heat, and with record heat, we had record thunderstorms. That was about 300 yards from Raven. We spent some time with Jocko, just sitting in the boat and puttering around, getting him used to it. Then we brought our boat to a new marina and hauled for the winter. But it wasn't a total loss. We went to Virginia to see my cousin Ron and Barry. Ron was one of the first boat building volunteers on the schooner Virginia. So I purposely timed my trip to hit the Annapolis Sailboat Show on the way home. And boy, I'll tell you, Annapolis is one of the most beautiful cities that I have ever been to. I spent a lot of time walking the city before going to the boat show. One of the highlights was seeing the Pride of Baltimore, which had just raced in the Great Chesapeake Bay Schooner Race, which was won, by the way, by the schooner Virginia. So somehow I ended up in the catamarans. Don't want to be here. Well, where I spent most of my money was on the charitable organizations, Women Who Sail, Sail Beyond Cancer, and an organization that sailed with disabled vets. The only thing I spent money on was a new halyard and this really cool hat. Yep, the sign says no dinghies. Perhaps if I saw this rainbow on the way down, I would have had that pot of gold for a new boat. But alas, just a new halyard. I'm not familiar with this company. The rope seems fine. I think they're a Turkish company with a distributor in Florida. Well, winter came and it was time to ski patrol. I'm the ski patrol director at Bosque Mountain in Massachusetts. And although it was a short season, it was a fun season. We had a lot of good times. We had a lot of new people on the patrol this year. It was just a really wonderful time. But by mid-March, our season was over. This is March 17th, the last day of the season. Well, an early end of the ski season meant some sanding. As Maz would say, oh, glorious sanding. So we sanded down parts of the cabin doors and the hatch covers. Anything I can bring home, I sanded and sanded and sanded. The cabin doors had some cracks in them. All right, so here's one of the cabin doors. As you can see, it's in pretty bad shape. Emergency epoxy repair last summer there. Also here, you can see we have a split here. So we're going to take this hardware off and put some glue in those cracks and sand it down. And it'll look beautiful, hopefully. So what I decided to do was to use the teak dust from sanding and create a filler with some thickened epoxy to fill those cracks before finishing. We sanded down to, I think it was 220 grit, and it's looking pretty good. Due to where I live and the inability to really varnish, I don't have an indoor space. There's a lot of stuff falling from the trees. I decided to use Total Boat Halcyon water-based, which if I pick the right day, warm, windless, I can get 5 coats in a day. And of course, the snow came. More snow. I think we had a total of about 8 inches of snow, and that put everything on hold. Well, I guess it was no better time than to ice-splice my new main halyard. There's a lot of different YouTube videos and websites and apps on how to ice-splice. The one that I find best is Splicing Double Braid by New England Ropes. Well, I definitely enjoyed my time at the Queens Landing Marina. Great facilities, great people. My buddy Russ from Sailing on the Run to Nowhere. My friend Chris, who you might have seen in season one when we rebuilt it by Tiller. Great facilities, good restaurant. The problem is that it was just too shallow. So I have some pictures from my Navionics app. Some years ago, in order to protect the channel for freighters, and, the Army Corps of Engineers built a wall, a retaining wall. And just above the marina, there's this creek, the Queemans Creek. And the Queemans Creek, as silt and other debris gets washed in, it hits that wall. Because you have to navigate down this fairway between the wall and the other boats, as this debris and as this silt would fill in, it kept getting shallower and shallower. And 2 seasons ago, I ran aground 4 times in places I really shouldn't have. So it it relegated me to having to sail on a window um, on either side of high tide by an hour or two, and that's just was too limiting. I go down to the Shady Harbor Marina. I'll leave a link below. It's a little more money. The facilities are really nice. The restaurant's nice. They have a new management company there, so I'm feeling very optimistic. My boat was in within days of opening, which is really good. Um, and so I'm really happy. No, I kind of teased you with the sanding and refinishing of the teak, but the finished product's going to have to wait till next episode. I will say it's on the boat and the boat's in the water, so you'll get some good shots next episode. So come back, join us again. Appreciate you being here. Thank you.